G'day guys, my name's Ryan. I'm the birds coordinator here at Melbourne Zoo. We're currently standing inside our great fly aviary, which is an amazing structure built in the 1930s and currently houses over 15 species of birds. Now it is springtime, so this is a perfect time to come and visit the aviary. This is where the birds really start to gear up for breeding season, are extremely active. As we walk around this aviary today, we'll see all those birds and talk a little bit about what they're up to in this aviary and what you might see if you take your time. So while we're in here, let's take a look at some of the birds, starting with the Jabos, or the black-necked storks, as they're known here in Australia. They are large predatory birds, so up in northern parts of Australia in particular, they will even feed on baby crocodiles. But if they're not available, they will eat all sorts of crustaceans, fish, smaller birds, amphibians, pretty much anything that they can grab. And as you can see, that huge big bill that they've got, they can use that quite formidably to dispatch prey quickly and swallow it down whole. So one of the things you might see while you're taking your time through the Great Fly Aviary is our bowerbirds and their awesome bower that they construct. Just down here we have quite a recently constructed bower. The male birds are the ones that construct these bowers, and they don't use them to nest in. They're actually just an area in which they want to attract females. Generally you'll find them in clearings on the forest floor, like we have in the aviary here. And they'll actually decorate them with all sorts of different things. Satin bowerbirds in particular love blue or greenish yellow. In the wild, this might come in the form of butterfly wings, flowers, berries, sometimes other bird species, eggshells. And obviously when we're closer to people, we'll start seeing bottle caps and pen lids and anything else that's blue that will catch their eye. And the reason they do this again is to attract females. And when they actually court the female themselves, they'll pick up their favorite blue item, they'll put it in their beak, and they'll do a sort of courtship dance for the female, and that will be wings spread out. They'll dance around, they'll make some hissing sounds. Sometimes they'll mimic other bird calls as well. It's quite a theatrical show. And if the female's impressed and she's happy, she will head into the bower where they'll mate, and then she'll fly off. And that's pretty much the male's job done. He does not play any role in building the nest, nor does he raise the chicks. So the Great Fly Aviary was designed to exhibit three main types of habitat that's crucial for birds and a variety of bird life. And that would be the scrubland, the wetlands where we are now, and of course the rainforest. Now when you walk through the wetland area, you'll see things like the little pied cormorant, which is behind me here. On a nice sunny day like today, they'll be sitting high on a perch looking for fish in the water. Generally they'll dive down, grab whatever food item that is. We often feed them crayfish here as well, and they'll eat that. They'll then jump onto a rock or a log and they'll spread their wings out and they'll sunbathe. Because these birds don't actually produce any oil, which allows the water to run off their feathers, similar to a duck, they have to dry out. So generally they spend a lot more time swimming in these nice sunny days, and again going into spring, this is where we see them really lapping up the sunshine. Another bird you'll likely see in the wetlands part of the aviary is the Royal Spoonbill, and they're so called that because obviously they have a very unique shaped bill, shaped like a spoon, but also they have a long ponytail of feathers at the back of their head. And now we're coming to breeding season, the males are getting pretty geared up and they start using those feathers to display to each other. So they'll actually stick up at the back of the head like this and form what looks like a crown, hence the name Royal Spoonbill. So that pretty much concludes our journey through the Great Fly Aviary, but this is not all of the birds that we have here at Melbourne Zoo. So let's cut to Ben and he can tell us all about one of the fighting extinction species, the Regent Honeyeater.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm one of the bird keepers here at Melbourne Zoo, and today I'm looking after our critically endangered Regent Honeyeaters. They're coming down to say hi to me now. They're very excited. I've got some eucalyptus flowers to feed to them. This is a flower that they would eat in the wild. Next time you're visiting Melbourne Zoo, make sure to swing past and have a look at the Regent Honeyeaters. They're a beautiful little bird. They're always active. They're always foraging on the flowers that we give them in their aviary. Listen out for their beautiful calls as well, because they make so many different intricate little songs. There's always something to see down here. We're also breeding this critically endangered honeyeater. Behind the scenes, I can take you there now and show you. So we're behind the scenes here at our Regent Honeyeater aviaries, and the reason I've got my voice down now is I've got these spider silk that I've just collected, and I'm going to offer it to the Regent Honeyeaters, and they're going to add it to their nest just like they would in the wild, and they use it to bind all the grasses and form a nice little cup for them to lay their eggs in and to rear their babies. So as well as spider silk, we also offer up lots of other materials to our honeyeaters to build their nests. Things like coconut fibre, all these fine fibres that they use to weave into their nest. And then we also give them feathers, downy soft feathers, and fur that's been shed by some of the animals around the zoo, and they use them to line their nests as well. Another species of bird that are currently nesting here at Melbourne Zoo this spring are the noisy pitter. Unlike the Regent Honeyeaters, who make a little cup nest in the fork of a tree, the noisy pitters, they're a rainforest bird, and they build a little nest on the ground. It's a little dome-shaped nest that they hide in amongst the roots of a tree. We've been providing them nesting material, and we've actually got a pair here at Melbourne Zoo that we've been seeing collecting up nesting material, and they're taking it away into their little nest. We're not going too close. We want them to feel like they've got nice privacy to build their nest, lay their eggs, and rear their chicks.
So thank you so much for taking the time to journey with us through the world of the birds here at Melbourne Zoo. Springtime is a fantastic time of the year to come and see the birds because they're extremely busy. They're busy building nests, building bowers, raising chicks, and if you take your time when you walk around, you'll probably see all of these behaviours on display right here at Melbourne Zoo.